She took your money, cause you buy puts right at the bottom. The stock market is a thief. Oh, she's a gold digger. YouTube. YouTube. What it do? It's your boy Little Petty checking in with you guys with another stock market episode. Alright, you guys, let me fix my thing real quick because I see that the settings are all the way up. So I'm going to do this real quick. Alright, cool. Alright, so we are checking in today. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Little Petty checking in with you guys with another stock market episode. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how I almost blew up my small account. Somewhat. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the stock market. And we're going to give you guys a little bit of insight on how to do like credit spreads, how I've been consistently profitable for the past couple months, setting up my small account for selling credit spreads. So, sit back, stay tuned, subscribe if you're new, and let's get to it. Alright, so, before, make sure you guys follow my Twitter. Links in the description. I'm posting my plays. As you guys can see right here, we set up this play. Quick swing trade overnight. We sold the Tesla put credit spreads, and we closed them out today for a $300 profit. We're posting the trade so you guys can learn the education, so you guys can see what's going on in the stock market. So let's go ahead and jump in over here, and we're going to jump into the S&P 500, and we're going to talk about what happened today in the stock market. So let's start with the daily chart, and let's see. All right, so today, basically, right, what's going on right now, we had set this high. We're still chopping around in this gap, and this level that I want to talk about in the stock market, this 315.54 has been a key level, and we have been chopping around this area. We came down, we tested this trend line. So if you see on the trend line, we have a little somewhat of a trend. It's came down, it's came back, it tested that again, and now it's bounced back above that. And this trend line goes back all the way down here. So boom, we're riding up the trend line, so we got it back above the trend line. The moving averages, I'm sure they're tightening up. We only have the VWAP on this chart right now. But overall, we set a low today and the stock market reversed. I'm not watching no news. I don't know what's going on in the news. I'm just watching the technicals, and we're trading with the trend. The trend is going up. So overall, the stock market, it was actually down 0.05% today on the day. The NASDAQ, I know the NASDAQ, they actually made another all-time high today. So the NASDAQ has been strong on the reversals. So today when SPY dropped off and it recovered, if you look at the difference from SPY and QQQ, you can see that the NASDAQ is clearly stronger, and you can see that on the daily chart too. So overall, tech is moving up the stock market. Stocks, as you can see, majority of the stocks are down, but the stocks that were up today were tech stocks: NIO, AMD, Walmart, Amazon, Shopify, Tesla. You guys get the picture. All right, so let's talk about how I almost blew up my account today. So if you guys been following me, you guys know I have this small trading account over here in TD Ameritrade. And what happened today was we took some trades, and the stock market basically reversed on me, and I didn't do the responsible thing and cut my loss. And long story short, I ended up, let me show you guys. I ended up basically taking a small loss on the day. I was overall down about $500, but I told myself I wasn't going to hold the contracts because I didn't want the contracts to expire tomorrow worthless if the stock market does continue to downtrend. But overall, let's talk about those trades real quick. So the first trade that I took today was in ZM. And what I was looking at was the stock was had a gap up. We're coming up for the all-time high, and I ended up getting in on the lower end of this candle, and I didn't sell at the pop. I ended up walking away from the computer, and then when I came back to the computer, we had downtrended, and then we had got a massive sell-off. So I ended up holding all the way through the sell-off, and I ended up closing out around here for a small loss on ZM today for $100. So as you guys can see, we got in at 642 and we got out at 1126. So 642, we got in this candle right here, and then we got out over here. So we held all the way through. The contracts went all the way down. The contracts that I bought were the 275 calls. So, and then we also made a trade on Netflix. Now the Netflix trade, we took the trade early, and the stock market ended up reversing, and I wasn't able to basically buy the dip, so I kind of was letting it ride out. Luckily, the stock market bounced up, and I ended up closing it out for a small win for 46 bucks. So if you add up the trades, I had about almost $1,000 into both the trades, which the account was basically maxed out. So what happened was, luckily, the market bounced, and you don't want to trade like that because that's literally how you blow up accounts. I've blown up accounts that way, where you just hold and you don't cut your losses. So luckily, I got saved by the bell today. I told myself, well, as long as I got my $1,000, I'm good. We'll close out the trades. We'll call it as a small loss on the day, and we'll let it be. So tomorrow we're gonna go into the day. We're gonna have money to trade the weeklies that expire. So we'll be looking at a few trades. We'll be watching closely Netflix. We'll be watching Tesla, and then a few other stocks. I know Twilio has been breaking out. We've been trading that, and ZM too. So we're going to be watching these stocks closely. Hopefully we can catch something else for a day trade tomorrow, depending on if I'm focused in the market. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump into the small account challenge. And as you guys can see, the account's doing very well. I pulled out some more money. So I pulled about $1,500 out this week. And yeah, so we're just letting the trades work for us. We're basically closed out of all of our trades today. The only trade that we're holding is the debit spread on Roku. So what are we looking at coming up to set up some more plays? I'm watching Tesla closely. The reason I like Tesla trading, so let's have a small lesson real quick. So Tesla, the contracts, they expire, they go, the premium on the theta on the contracts drops the contract's price. So if you're gonna sell contracts that are out of the money on Tesla and the stock sits in the same position, so let me pull up the chart so I can explain this to you. So as you guys can see, Tesla stock has been trading in this range for the past few days. So it's been in the range from, we can even say 1,300 to 1,400. So if you're selling puts or calls that are out of the money, the theta, so when you're buying, so if you were to buy a call, you're going to come over here and you're going to say, I'm going to buy this. You're going to spend $2,100. Now on the flip side, if you wanted to sell it, you're going to collect $1,900. You're going to collect $1,900. Now, when you're selling things that are out of the money, the contracts are cheaper. So that's saying that it's likely not going to, the contracts aren't going to get in the money. So these contracts are going to expire worthless. So if we were to sell the 1,500s, we would be able to collect the $5.8 in a premium, so $580. Now when you do a credit spread, what you're doing is you're buying the other leg, so you're going to collect the difference between the strikes. So the difference between the strikes is 5 points. So it's going to be $5 subtracted. I'm going to pull out the calculator so I can break this down for you guys. All right. So the contract of the 1350 minus 1345. So there's a $5 difference between the price of the contracts. So you have a $5. Now, $5.40 for the sell, and the bid is going to be $60. Now the middle between that is going to be 10. It's going to be, if you were to take the mid, you're going to get $5.50. Now, let's pull up the calculator. So $5.50. Now, if you were to go the mid between this, is going to be 490. So the calculator minus 490. That gives you 60. So that is going to be the credit that you're going to be able to receive. So now what you do, you take 500 minus 60 is going to be 440. That is the collateral that you have to put up to actually take on the trade. So your risk is 440. Right here. Boom. 58. So your risk is going to be 440 and your credit received is going to be 60. Why does it say 58? Because you're paying $2 for commission. You see that? Cool. So now, when you look at the theta of the contracts, Tesla's theta, let's pull up a chart. Let's pull up the chart of the options on Tesla so you guys can see the education and learn and understand visually. I'm a visual learner. I don't know about you guys, I'm visual. So let's do it like this. We're going to pull this out. We're going to drop this down. So this right here is going to be the option of whatever strike that we're picking. This right here is the chart of Tesla. So this is NIO option right now. I'm going to figure out which strike we're going to look at, and I'm going to break this down to you. All right, so we're looking at the hour chart on Tesla. So we are going to look at Tesla puts of 1,300, just to keep it simple. 1,300 puts. And we're going to go to, we'll go to the daily chart, and we'll just do the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the past 5 days, the contract, if you were to buy this 1,300 contract, it was worth $12,000. Now, as the stock was going up, these contracts started decaying. Theta. So that is what theta is. Theta is when the contracts are not nowhere in the money, they start evaporating. Because if the contract does not expire in the money, then what's going to happen is the contract is going to go to zero. So when you're selling contracts that are out of the money, they're going to burn as time goes by. So it was $12,000 on the 2nd, on the 6th over the weekend, and this is why I do the weekend premium crush. You have 3 days of premium to get killed over the weekend. So you're waking up to money as long as the stock goes in your favor, or even if it sits in the same position, it doesn't matter. You're getting that premium killed. So the contract value of what you sold, you're going to be able to collect that money. And that's what I've been doing. As you guys can see, the account is up almost 6,000. It's up almost $1,000 this week alone. And I've been pulling money out. So this is an income strategy on how to actually pull money out and pay yourself in the stock market. So back to here. It went from 12,000 all the way down to 6,000. So imagine if you're selling these naked. That's a $6,000 profit over the weekend. And then the next day, it goes down to 3,000, all the way down to a low of $800. So in one day, it went from $3,000 to $800. So calculator, $3,000 to $800, $2,200 profit. Now, if you would have sold and collect the 120, the 12,000, and you sold and you gave it back at 800, you just made $1,100 in profit. So that's selling naked, but we don't teach that in this channel because, for one, you need a lot of money. If we were to come out and say what I'm showing you guys right now is saying we're gonna sell. Well, that example is probably because it was in the money. But say, for instance, if we're gonna sell this over the weekend, we would be able to collect the $3,500, but we would need $2,200 of buying power of collateral. And then if the trade goes against you, then you have a risk, you have a chance of losing a lot more money. So that's why we put on the credit spread to cap your loss. So your max loss on this trade would be $355. If it just blew past, because you would close it out at $5, or you would get exercise. That's the max that you can get from the $5 width. So I hope that explains, and you guys can kind of catch on and understand what I'm saying. So, but as you guys can probably tell, these contracts will expire worthless. So this is a good example of why we sell credit spreads and why we sell put options and how it's very profitable. Now, let's go to my Discord chat. I haven't been too active in the markets because I've been working on my real estate, but you guys don't care about that. So, but overall in the stock market, I've been just chilling and I've been very passive. If you guys want to join the Discord, let me know. I have a few spots more open, depending, but for the most part, we have a few people in here that are active on the day. I haven't been active really too much, but I'm hoping tomorrow brings us some good news because there's been some good setups. So, but overall, let me see if I don't have nothing else to talk about. Let's look at the VIX real quick. See what's going on with the VIX. So the VIX did get a nice spike. It's kind of hanging out around 30. So we're on the lookout for any trend change. We are up pretty high on the stock market, but as you guys all know, so we just set another tail candle. So if we don't drop below what we dropped below today, then this was just a great dip buy opportunity. I actually bought calls today. I bought calls, I didn't sell, and then I sold out for like a 12. And that's why I don't trade SPY contracts. SPY contracts suck. Like they're just trash. I don't like trading SPY contracts, so I don't trade those. But tomorrow, we're going to be watching closely Netflix. Netflix, they usually have good opportunities. You need about like $300 to $400 to play the contracts tomorrow. If any of these calls or puts, we will be watching out for Netflix. ZM, we'll watch out for this. This one's pretty volatile. If you guys come to the 30-day hourly chart, you can see it makes ups and downs. So, but it's basically on an uptrend. Had a nice pullback reverse. We closed out. We had a ZM trade today. So let me go show you what we closed out today. So we closed out my boy Tesla trades. I wanted to clean up my account. I closed out my Tesla play. I closed out my ZM. I closed out one of my Rokus. And I closed out my Spotify. So we just took profit. That was all we did today. We took profit. We didn't open up no trades. So I basically have cash, and I pulled money out, and that is what is looking like in the small account. Now for the blowing up account, I don't need to trade in this account if I'm just going to be very passive, because that's not what this account is made for. This account is made to scalp trade, make day trades, and if I'm not going to be active in trading, then I don't need to be trading. So that's why I said I almost blew up my account, but I was able to recop my $1,000. So we're gonna leave it at that. And YouTube, I appreciate you guys checking me out, but Little Petty is